Welcome in, Michael Murray with Benzinga here at the Future of Digital Assets Conference in downtown New York City. Andrew Glantz from Xclaim joining us here. Andrew, it's great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
Pleasure to have you guys aboard. We want to talk to you a little bit about specifically Xclaim and what you do, but then the industry surrounding it too. So for anybody that's not familiar, what is Xclaim and what do you do?
Sure. So Xclaim is the largest clearinghouse for bankruptcy claims. We basically allow any creditor in any bankruptcy case that's owed money to get liquidity by onboarding with us and connecting with our 1,000+ investors that are looking to invest in this alternative asset class.
It's a really interesting one too, because there's all kinds of alternative asset classes here, tokenization of assets, digital currencies, but the alternative asset class of bankruptcies is a new one, right? It's very unique here, especially at this conference. So when it comes down to investing in this asset class, what are some of the things that set it apart from more traditional investment methods, and what are some of the things you have to educate investors about for getting into it?
Sure. So this industry has actually been around for decades, but it's been a very the opposite of transparent. It's been a opaque, industry with a lot of paper contracts. It's a one-to-one industry. There's been no easy way to identify what is the market price for a claim in any given case at any given time. And so for investors, there's been sort of a good standard protocol for buying claims. What's sort of unique about the last 12 to 18 months or so is that we have now these crypto bankruptcy cases where crypto investors are coming to sell their claims, and the bankruptcy estates that are facilitating these bankruptcies have implemented some new protocols specifically related to crypto. So we're actually sort of educating crypto investors that are interested in buying bankruptcy claims on how to buy bankruptcy claims, and we're educating bankruptcy claim buyers on how to buy crypto claims.
Right.
So it's been a really interesting sort of intersection of these different communities.
For sure. And from an industry perspective then, in this industry specifically with crypto, what has the industry kind of led to in terms of growth, or not necessarily growth, because of course there's many people that have been affected by this industry, but for you, an opportunity of new business. What's happened with the crypto industry doing what it's done over the last few years?
Yeah, look, I think we, you see a lot of loss of confidence after the big collapses, Voyager, Celsius, FTX, and crypto investors who thought that they had figured it all out with smart contracts and lending of digital assets. They sort of realized that the rug was pulled out from under them when push comes to shove and you get into a liquidity crisis or you get into a solvency situation, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a second, the expectations that I have for how to manage through this in a traditional finance world don't exist in crypto because it's gotten over its skis. It's grown so fast. We haven't even put the compliance in place to deal with this.
Right.
So I think there's been a little bit of back to earth reckoning for crypto, which is going to ultimately benefit crypto in the long run by giving it a nice solid foundation that TradFi has had for a long time. The traditional finance investors in these claims, they operate at a different time scale, right? Crypto investors that want to get out of these cases, they want to get out tomorrow because they want to invest back in Bitcoin tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And I think everybody expects that there's going to be another bull run. I think everybody is already seeing the pumping that's happening right now. And so crypto investors are looking at their claims and they're saying, my claim is not growing as fast as Bitcoin is growing. I got to get out and redeploy.
Right.
And so part of it is educating the traditional investors as well as to, how do I operate at the speed that's expected of me from my counterparty who's trying to sell me their asset?
That makes a lot of sense. So for anybody that, may be considering investing in this alternative asset class, what is the advice or what's the initial piece of content that you would give to them about getting involved in this, and what should they be aware of before they get started?
Sure. I think, first of all, it's actually a lot easier than you'd expect, right? So there is a fair bit of diligence and analysis that you have to do and understand what you're investing in. A bankruptcy claim is not, a stock which is completely fungible. There are differences from claim to claim.
Right.
There's, liabilities that can be attached to claims, but it's actually, Xclaim has made it so much easier for the average investor to get involved in this asset class. It's not a security bankruptcy claim, so you don't need to sort of go through that same regulatory hurdle that you would to invest in let's say certain kinds of tokenized cryptocurrencies that may be securities, and you question about that.
Sure.
The average investor can actually log on to our platform, register as an investor, and after a relatively short process, get involved in this industry. So it's much easier.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew Glantz from Xclaim, thank you very much for sharing more about what you're doing, telling us how you can get involved. We look forward to seeing what's next.
Absolutely. Great to be here.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.